Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. Welcome to the final match of the finals week. Here in 4WC, we have the combination of the losers bracket. Both sides are down to just one team each. Sweden versus Canada. It should be a banger of a matchup between the 7th and the 4th seed here. My name is Damarsh, and I should have someone joining me shortly, but I shall introduce him and when he gets here. So really, we are actually both teams flying through this ban phase straight away. We already have our first ban coming in from Canada, being on the No Mod 5, the very heavy speed map, that 240 BPM stream LMT map. So that kind of gives people an idea of what we might see and what might lead into their second ban. We saw in the last round Canada ban both DT2 and DT3, but you did have Indonesia banning No Mod 5 against them, so it's interesting to see them ban into that map against Sweden. But Sweden coming back in with the very unique DT4 and Hidden 2 bans. Hidden 2 is a very dense aim pattern map. And you also have the DT4, which is just, it's a multitude of overlapping skill sets. So, interesting ban. Still waiting on one more ban from the Canadian side, and it is going to be that DT2. So quite a lot of the DT pool taken out here. And because he's just got here, I will ask him his thoughts. Good evening, ChillierPear. What do you think about these bans coming out from Sweden and Canada?
Good afternoon. I'm here solely to glaze Sweden. No, I'm just kidding. I think, as fun as that would be, looking at the bans thus far and the skill sets that we saw presented by both Sweden and Canada in their previous matches, I very much agree with the double DT ban for Sweden. I don't think Canada look exceptionally strong on the finals DTs in their previous match. I definitely think they had a little bit more trouble than they maybe let on. Now, I do think that they are still the better team overall on speed, so I do think that having a DT ban from Sweden makes sense. Now, the DT2 ban from Canada, I think, is just based off of Sweden's overall performance on that map in their previous match last time. So both are sort of in the right there. The No Mod 5 ban from Canada hails from the edge. Could just be a target ban coming out on that side. And then the Hidden 2 from Sweden. Canada has one of the strongest hidden reading rosters left in the tournament, with the exception of maybe the United States. So I'm very understanding in that Sweden does not have a ton of amazing hidden players in terms of reading skill. They are going to be very good at the aim style. So a little bit of a clash in skill sets between these two teams. I think they overlap in a lot of areas that these two teams haven't had to deal with yet.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I think there is that clash is you're gonna have a lot of maps. Well, I say a lot. You're gonna have some maps that are very much, one-sided affairs. I definitely think this stacks up well with the Hidden 2 ban. This is very practice-heavy map. You've got a lot of slide jumping and stacked reading mixed into this one. If you put the practice in, you can pay off a lot, and I think the fact that Canada's got such an overall good reading team, like you mentioned, Sweden are going to have to really bank on select players to really overperform on this, I think.
I'm very excited to see some of the gimmick maps between these two teams. We actually saw some exceptional scores already between, at the very least, Sweden and South Korea in their match, which I was able to catch a little while back. Canada versus Indonesia. We didn't get to see quite as many matches, but both of these teams handedly beating their opponents. I mean, it was a 7-2 and a 7-1 between the two sides. Canada winning the majority of the what I would consider gimmick-style maps in the pool, especially against a team like Indonesia. That's quite impressive, given how strong they looked overall throughout the pools in those slots. And a lot of that did come down to how Wondario was playing. They were definitely the top player in the lobby when it came to 99% of the gimmick maps in there. They certainly had great backing from a lot of players, but when it comes to this sort of map, we do have him to look out for right now, and I think that's where my eyes are going to be, on that bottom right-hand corner from them. For Sweden, it really depends on this map. They had a couple of players, I think, that could show up on a map like Sonen, which is why I'm going to reserve my judgment. I do think Lightning Fox and Couch were the two to really bring Sweden in as a strong performance when they played against South Korea. I do think they could have seen a little bit of improvement out of their other players, but it's just about who holds the consistency through. Like, who can do that multiple times. And as we get through these first couple seconds here with Zucchini finding the first break for Canada, not going to matter too much, but there is an early lead for Sweden.
Yeah, I think you touched on it quite well. I think Sweden overall, especially in their last matchup, very good accuracies on this map across the board. They didn't have the combo to back, and they were also good against South Korea on this, which when you've got Gambler on your team is just massive, massive walls. So they're kind of facing that again, but they have showed some promise on this. And again, like you mentioned, Zucchini also struggling on the accuracy, as well as being behind on the combo. So Sweden going to be holding the lead at the moment, but there goes Couch with that miss, dropping big accuracy alongside it as well.
Yeah, this is not looking too amazing for Sweden with that break from Couch. That is definitely going to be the unfortunate first, notable break from either team. Zucchini's miss was extremely early and is thus negligible in the grand scheme of things right now. And given the fact, again, that in Canada's match versus Indonesia, Azer and Wondario were the two best players on this map in terms of overall score, a 945k coming out from Wondario does speak volumes to the consistency overall on this team. Now, they did sub Yip in for Birchman from the first set, so that is actually a switch up from Canada. It's clearly paying off. Birchman's maximum score was 483k. Yip is already going to get that, and that's if they break right now. And we've seen only one miss from Zucchini, who is also going to come quite close to their max score, which was 500k in the first match. So I really think Sweden's just getting outclassed right here. So I gotta find a break at the top, and there goes Silla as well. And only Azer trading that miss out is really going to favor Canada overall.
Oh,
and there goes Silla for real.
Show?
Well, it was
for
a
real,
band
yeah.
show until we mentioned it. Yes.
Oh, it's gonna be one of those days. One of those days.
That's gonna be it. The second we mentioned that it was that show, it happens. Lightning Fox, exceptional stuff from them, though. They were the #1 score for Sweden against South Korea.
Yeah, they definitely were. But yeah, you had some real strong potential, I think, for Sweden on this, for maybe to be a bit of a sleeper pick. But again, the consistency comes into question on this map. But I mean, they are up against the second best rating team, which you definitely pointed out earlier on, but a solid team score overall for Canada on this one. There isn't much I think anyone could do against that.
Yeah, that was just an absolute clinic once again from Wondario, the star player for Canada on these gimmicks. We mentioned him earlier, and the question is, Damarsh, how much faith do you have that Wondario can put up a repeat performance like what we saw against Indonesia? I mean, we saw multiple full combos on some more technical and gimmicky picks from them.
Yeah, it wasn't just this as well. It was Microwave as well. Incredible 900k score on there as well. So I mean, you just got some absolutely brilliant master performances and a big expectation to do well, but has got off the gate with a nice solid performance. So I have high hopes for Harden, but Again, it is over to Sweden now. And this is
there it is.
Surprise.
There it is, the DT1. Yeah, no, I'm with you. I mean, the scores between Sweden and South Korea on this map were so incomparable that I was like actually left stunned for a little while. I did not get a chance yet to see what the winners bracket match scores have been, if they did even play Amazing Trees. I'm actually going to even check the MP link right now. They did not play Amazing Trees in the winners bracket side, so that means that I would venture to say Sweden has the #1 score on this weekend by quite a margin based on their first match score. For those of you that did not see Sweden versus South Korea, Sweden put up an FC on Silla, blue with a miss at the very ending, a 0-miss slider break choke from Melwem, and Osulan Bolav putting up 721k, equating to a team score of 3.739 million. That was a 1.75 million score gap between them and South Korea on this pick. That is disgusting. That is an unbelievable team score when you compare it to a team like South Korea, who was expected to be one of the best teams in this tournament and made it all the way through to this point, only falling to a Sweden that looked amazing. Even compared to Canada at 2.6 million, that is still a 1+ million gap between them and Canada. And that's on that is assuming Sweden puts up the same play and doesn't improve, and even if they go down, that still gives them a full player of leeway. That is unbelievable.
Yeah, because when I was reviewing this, I was reviewing that matchup ahead of this this cast, and the one thing I noticed that I would say does have the potential to change is you had Melwem very much combo game a lot of that map to get that one slider miss score. It's still very impressive score, but it is a bit of a potential volatility in the team score difference.
That volatility, if completely removed from the team, would still beat Canada's team score. That's kind of like the point. Yeah, that's kind of why I'm like laughing about the team score that Sweden put up, and like that puts into perspective how unbelievable it was. Like, you could have literally dropped a player from their roster and they would have beaten the next closest comparable team score. So I don't even know. It is an art form what Sweden pulled off on this map. Can they do it again? Can they do it again?
Well, the hype is definitely there, and I'm looking forward to see if they can follow through. Still sticking with that same roster that brought them glory the first time. I believe Canada is also sticking with the same roster.
It does seem to be the same, which is understandable. I feel like by this venture in a tournament, your DT roster is usually like one of the most set in stone things that you have as a country, because you're either good at speed or you're not, and when you get to this level of the tournament, that sort of comes into play because the maps are fast enough, and we're already seeing breaks come out from Canada in the first Ki alone on Zucchini and Jamara. Jamara going to find another break. It is going to be Blue finding an earlier miss than anticipated. That is one of the higher scores from Canada. Melwem going to find the other break, and there goes Bolav. So it's actually Sila versus Juan Dario and Dark Karate now. Going to be an uphill battle for him to keep this on their side with only 130k.
Yeah, it's not what we expected at the halfway point in this map, and don't forget that score cap as
Bolav?
well.
Bolav? What was that miss? That was
lag?
interesting. Yeah, that was interesting. I'm unsure, but luckily I don't think it makes too much of a difference. Canada does have the better overall score, even with just the double FCs counted in. Score lead going to go back to Canada, and Stila finds a break. Sweden with an unbelievable downturn on their overall team performance. Dark Karate does find a break, but it's once again Juan Dario, the hero of Canada in 4-Digit World Cup this year. This performance needs to be studied from Juan Dario for the past 2 weekends.
Absolutely.
Oh, barely under aims the right jump. Barely.
That was us. That was all on us. That was us. Too much pressure.
I'll take blame. I'll take blame. That was my miss. That was my miss.
But actually, I'm looking at these combos. This isn't good for Canada. You've just got Zucchini on the big one. And then you've got Blue who can negate it. And there goes Zucchini and Blue.
Oh no.
Blue stands tall.
It's Bolov. It's Bolov. They need to see a break from Shamara. Zucchini trades the miss out with Melwam. Oh gosh, it's so close. Dark Karate and Melwam again. I don't think it's going to be enough, Damarsh. It's so close into the ending. Big jumps at the ending. And Bolov, no!
Wandario!
Oh my gosh. It's Wandario. It's all him. It was so close. It's 24k, Damarsh. It's 20k. It's not even into the ending with the act drops. It's 19k. If Sweden maintained even one of their scores from the first match they played against South Korea, they would have cleared that map. Unfortunately, just the timing of these breaks are just, they were spaced out too much.
You had so many people missing at that same point for Sweden. And look at Blue. It wasn't even a miss. It was multiple slider breaks for Blue. They're so unfortunate. But yeah, Melwin and Olaf both breaking at exactly the same pattern, I believe. Just crushed them.
That is tragic. And that is a significant score downturn for Sweden from their first set. When compared to that initial score, which was, let's be honest, if Sweden matched the 3.7 million, that would have been unbelievable. So I think they're definitely more down towards like the status quo with the score that they put up with today, but you know, unfortunately, it just wasn't enough. And even then, Canada actually dropped their team score by about 150k as well. So you know, they actually had a better chance against the Canada performance today than they did against the score that Canada put up against Indonesia. So they were given a little bit of leeway even on that fall.
Yeah, it was just such an underperformance from Sweden there, unfortunately. But you could tell from the accuracies how confident they are on that map. 98% accuracy across 3 of their players, only one of them dipping into 96. I mean, that shows true consistency on that map. But if the combo ain't there or it happens at the wrong time, that's literally all that doomed them.
Tragic. It's tragic, and here it is. It's Magmel. This is, funny enough, like Azer's personal hell as a song, but he was the #1 scorer on this in the match against Indonesia. So clearly, like rage performance or something from Azer. Clearly, he has definitely never been good at hidden one aim ever in his career. But I digress. Canada's a hidden team. We talked about this in the start of the match. We can mention it again now. Canada has an unbelievable hidden roster when compared to most other teams in this tournament. Like, dare I say, going up against the United States, even they go like toe-to-toe overall in performance, and that's against, you know, these two teams who duked it out in grand finals last year. Sweden has an extremely good hidden roster to boot, which is why I do not want to count them out of this, but Canada very specifically had to avoid hidden in their match against South Korea. Understandably, South Korea, a very good hidden team overall, which may make them a little bit less prepared than Canada may be for this map.
Yeah, I'd agree. I definitely think it isn't something that they'd necessarily focus on doing too well on, knowing that Canada is definitely going to pick into it and play around it. So it wouldn't surprise me if they go into this quite relaxed, but that could take some of the pressure off sometimes. You know, when you haven't got to focus too much on how well you're going to play because you're not expected to pick up this map. That they might actually perform better than they would if they were actually trying to focus on winning it. The pressure's really on Canada to keep extending their lead now that they've got it.
I mean, that is that's one break point in the bag for Canada, and I definitely think Hidden One is a little bit of a volatile pick, personally, to go into. Now, the only reason I am holding my reservations and giving Canada the advantage here is because Canada played this so well in their match versus Indonesia. And with the way Wandario is playing today and the fact that Azer, despite what he says has a headache, is remaining in for this, this was basically an FC on Azer and then 3 high 600Ks on the other players in the lobby. So despite the fact that Sweden has been one of the best aim teams in the tournament we've seen thus far, I really just have to give an advantage to Canada on this map. It's so difficult for me to give Sweden the advantage on this as a Canada pick.
Yeah, I mean, Sweden does have its solid aim players, but you've got players like Scylla, you've got Blue, so it's not that they can't do this sort of thing. It's just like you said, it's team versus individual.
Well, right now, not looking good for Sweden with the early combos. It's not looking bad, but they had 2 breaks where Canada has only suffered 1. However, Azer's headache may be having a little bit more of effect on him than he would have wanted, as that is their #1 score with the #1 biggest combo drop in the lobby, followed up by Blue.
Yeah, break from Blue there, so... Oh!
Great.
Yeah, Psycho and Birchman, both.
It's
even-ish.
bad. It's not bad. It's not good for Sweden because Blue was a repeat break and Zucchini missing on nothing. Now that's gonna help. What? That is now Wandario versus Scylla, and Wandario now wondering, yeah, for real, like, what did you just miss on in that section, Zucchini? That is just unfortunate right there. And, well, the #1 performer today on Canada now playing a 1v2 against the #1 player out of qualifiers, Scylla and Couch, who has been traditionally known as an unbelievably strong hidden aim player. Couch has been playing tournaments as well as OWC for Sweden in the past, in this slot.
Well, when you put it like that, you do wonder how Canada are going to find a way back into this, especially with not just the main combos, but the recoveries as well. I mean, you're looking towards Juan to do something, but right there from Psycho.
Not going to help. The combo drops are certainly making this an uphill battle for Scylla and Couch, because they would be pulling this away massively if not for Wandario right now in a big triple section right now. We're looking out for any jumps on this spike. This is one of the more difficult sections right here, and nobody... Scylla gets caught on the slider! Scylla, no! Stop sight reading! Stop. Oh no, and Psycho to find a break, and Couch, now the only thing standing in between Sweden and certain doom on this pick. It is going to go back to Canada on the supporting combos right now. Unless Wandario finds a break at the ending here, it's all on Couch to find the miss, and it is. No. Wait, but Blue drops his combo too. Sweden, what are you doing?
It's all gone wrong. It's right at the end. Canada have snuck away with a steal of the century. What a performance.
Oh my gosh, and where Azer falls, Wandario steps up to the plate. The bottom scoring player from the first playthrough this weekend will be the top scorer. Now, will not match Azer's top score of 924k, but I'll be damned if 840k is not a very, very good score on this map. As Wandario closes it out, and Sweden, because of those breaks, ending in a 350,000 score gap. Canada picking up the pieces. Scylla, a singular slider break, a clean one at that, and Couch with the miss towards the ending. That is just tragic for Sweden, and they barely let that one slip away. I mean, the score lead is really not indicative of the last quarter that came down to, but that is a consolidated break point for Canada, Damarsh, and now Sweden has to start thinking about picking up pieces rather than just sneaking a point back in.
Yeah, the the early game is rapidly falling out of Sweden's favor. They need to get on the board to start with. They let that DT1 get away from them, and now they've lost on another aim-style map. It just doesn't feel like it's there for them today. So where do they go after that, is the question.
Sweden needs aim right now. I really think they do. And they're going to go for Forza. So they're going to go for the Hard Rock 1. And I was potentially actually going to pick out that Sweden would maybe go for the Nomad 1 as an option as well. But they did look pretty decent on Forza, although I definitely think that other picks in here might have been opportunistic as well, but Forza was, it was really heavy on Blue and Scylla as a performance. I mean, Blue putting up 800k on that map was 200,000 higher than the next closest player in Scylla on this map. Now, the Hard Rock roster for Canada is certainly not bad, and that's sort of the reason I'm giving some concessions to Sweden on this map, is that they are an extremely good Hard Rock team overall, and while Canada does have a few players I think are going to be good on this, you do remove a little bit of confidence, I think, in Wandario on a Hard Rock pick. Generally not going to trend towards the Hard Rock on this. Wandario is going to run the Hiddens, he's going to run the Nomads, and he is good at aim, but I do wonder about how comfortable he's going to be on a Hard Rock pick, which is maybe what Sweden's gunning for if Blue is feeling good today.
Yeah, well, it definitely seems that overall Sweden, they're not playing bad. I've been looking at these results. They are currently averaging 1 S rank per map.
It's insane in a finals match.
It is when they're 3-0 down.
Yeah, it is. It speaks volumes to how well Canada is playing too. And I mean, on that end, every single other pick, I mean, there's been an S rank on almost every map. Sonan, by the way, 2 S ranks on both teams. What? Like, that is ridiculous. These two teams are so good, and I mean, again, it says so much about the teams in this finals and grand finals weekend in 4-Digit World Cup that this is a lower bracket match. This is an elimination match right now, and we have players putting up S ranks, multiple players putting up S ranks on these maps. And the pool is only going to get a little bit more difficult into grand finals because, the scaling works in a certain way. Maybe we go up 0.2, 0.3 into next weekend, I imagine. And then, it stacks up a little bit. But if you're able to play the maps at this level of skill, there's a good chance you're not going to have a major downturn into grand finals. So this isn't even a winner's bracket match, and to see that is just so exciting into the next few weekends. So I am excited for next week, and whichever of these teams advances from this match, whether or not it is Sweden putting up by far their best performance in 4-Digit World Cup ever, or Canada getting another shot potentially at that grand finals match to try and take redemption for not the past year, but the past 2 years of 4-Digit World Cup. Can they finally make it happen this year, Damarsh?
Well, certainly got the start that they want, but again, those last 4 points, such a pipe dream away at the moment, especially with how Sweden are performing so far. There's the first break, sorry, third break, I do apologize, for Sweden with Melwim. But you've got
What? Right before the pause! No, Volev has found actually the most tragic misses of the match so far. These are so unfortunate. What? The timing. It's fine. It's fine. Canada found 2 breaks. It's fine. We're good. We're all fine here.
See, you say that, and for some reason I don't believe you.
Oh, it's okay. It's okay.
After what we saw on that hidden one, I don't believe you.
Listen, I'm taking one look at Blue's accuracy right now, and Jamara finding a break with the highest, and that is a
keep looking at it.
Decent combo.
Keep looking at it.
Oh, Remindra gone too. It's everyone gone but Scylla now. Melwem with a good back. All right then, and it's Scylla. Looking for redemption from that hit-and one, maybe. He was the second best scorer on Sweden on this map in their previous match, and Blue's accuracy right now just speaks volumes about his confidence. You know, as a Hard Rock player, you have to pride yourself on your accuracy because, you know, it is an OD increase, right? Higher accuracy means higher confidence. It means that you are more stable. It means that you are just overall so ready for a map. And even on an aim pick like this, it means so much. And hitting the big jump section is Melwem and Blue to make it through. And Sweden really showing off the aim.
Yeah, finally settling in to their skill set. What a time for it to happen. But
it's their game. It's their game.
Yeah, it is. And it's good to see them have such a massive score margin because Canada have got nothing right now. And that bodes well for the rest of the Hard Rock, really.
Does. I mean, this is despite breaks on both of the combos of Sweden. There is Melwem and Blue above 99% accuracy on these massive jumps. The consistency is holding through. The scores are definitely lower for Sweden on this than what we saw in the first match, but we've seen both of the teams here put up lower scores than the other day, and Blue once again looking to be the top scorer by quite a significant margin in accuracy as well as overall combo, and a 339,000 into the ending for Sweden is definitely going to inspire some confidence in this team, and they will not let a second break point slip away in this match as they get their point up here. And Blue, he's back, baby. 7 100s, only 2 misses overall with jumps that big. Besting Scylla's combo, not besting Melwem's 100 count, though 5. Only 5.
Crazy. Actually crazy on that map.
Hard Rock looking good for Sweden. Canada, they didn't pick any Hard Rocks against Indonesia in their match. No Hard Rocks were also banned in that match, which means that both of those teams intentionally avoided Hard Rock in some fashion or another, and all 3 have been left open in this match. And while Hard Rock 2 and 3 are quite a bit different than Hard Rock 1, there is some confidence, so to speak, for Sweden in taking some of the future maps if they are left up, because even if Hard Rock 1 is quite aim favored, you still have the higher AR that Hard Rock provides, you still have the smaller circles than the other picks, and a lot of the difficulty does come from that aspect of the map, even if the patterning is a little bit different. And we did see Sweden end up opting in for a couple other Hard Rocks against South Korea as well, namely Hestia was another map that they went for against them, and that play went pretty well for them as well. Not quite as well as the Hard Rock one, but it was certainly good enough around that 1.8 million team score, which is pretty close to the range of what they just got on the Hard Rock 1 right now. So there is confidence in broad spectrum on the Hard Rock pool.
Yeah, definitely. And oh, here we go. Here we go. Microwave. Oh, we know he's coming back in for this.
Oh, baby. Target picking much? Target picking much? I respect it. I respect it. The only reason I say target pick on this, even with as good of a team as Canada has, is we'd like to see them find some overall improvement on this map. 80% of the work done on this pick was by Wondario in their match against Indonesia. It was 917k for Wondario, and the next closest teammate was Ramindra at 438k, with the other 2 players of below 400k. That is not team confidence from Canada. Whereas you look at Team Sweden, Scylla's score as the max was 879k, Couch further behind at 500k, and then the other 2 players were at that sub 400. But that's a 2.101 million team score for Sweden to a 2.063 million team score for Canada, where their top-end player was more of a carry than that of Sweden, and that is with a Scylla miss, actually, on that map, at 99.59% accuracy. So that is a like an unfortunate miss. That's not even an I'm struggling at this map miss with Hidden and Hard Rock. So this is a dangerous pick for Canada. This is break-pointable very much so if Wandario does not live up to the performance of the last match again.
Yeah, I mean, just talking about the mod combinations, you had both Scylla and Couch taking Hidden Hard Rock on this map. That is insane. That is insane on this map, and performing pretty much the best in their respective lobby against South Korea. Very dangerous, but it does rely on key players performing very, very well. And there's also the potential that Canada did underperform, like you mentioned, you know, heavily relying on one player, whereas I think they've got some potential to do a lot better on this map. So let's see if they pull it off.
Yeah, they ended up switching out Yip for Ramindra for that Hidden Hard Rock, which is definitely an interesting strategy. Ramindra was their second highest score, but the other difference we're looking at today is that Yip is on the no mod compared to Wandario, who is taking the Hidden over nobody else, actually. They dropped a Hidden Hard Rock off of Canada. They went 2 Hidden Hard Rocks, 1 Hidden before. Now they're running double Hidden, 1 Hidden Hard Rock, and the mod switch up might make a little bit of a difference here, especially if Wandario is just as comfortable on the Hidden as he is on the no mod. It will make a pretty big difference. Now, we are seeing Saika and Couch have a little bit of trouble on this map overall. Another major difference, by the way, I would like to point out that we are not seeing in this match right now, is previously, Lightning Fox ran the easy and put up 323k on this map, but Lightning Fox going for the no mod this time. And here's the hard section. Low aim, snap patterns, Couch continuing to struggle. And there's a break from Scylla, which you do not want to see as Canada now maintains that double combo. It is Lightning Fox on the no mod to hold it down. It's a break from Wandario and Dark Karate, and now it is just Azer now gone. Lightning Fox, a 200,000 score difference, and Lightning Fox could do this all by himself, Damarsh.
Oh, it's falling apart for Canada.
Oh, it's so fast. It's so fast. One more pattern for Lightning Fox. It's one wiggle left for Lightning
Azer
Fox.
goes down.
Can he do it? Lightning Fox 30k. It's 20k. It's 10. And it's all Lightning Fox. He does it for Team Sweden. He just needs a little bit more. And there it goes. Lightning Fox to save Sweden.
They've done it again.
Absolutely phenomenal performance from Lightning Fox. The full combo after switching off of the easy, the only FC in the lobby, backing up Scylla's 735k, and the no-mod player steps up to the plate. Lightning Fox is in the house, ladies and gentlemen. He came ready to play, ready to roll, and Sweden takes the break point back on the side of the Swedish OWC player, Lightning Fox. And this match, Damarsh, is ready to go back even with just one more Sweden pick.
I can't believe they've got away with that twice. Twice against 2 of the best reading teams left in the tournament. Insane. That is ridiculous from Sweden. They improve their team score by 400k just for making that switch off easy. That is insane. I can't understate it. It's just crazy that they've walked away with that map.
You know, it was looking treacherous for Sweden at the start of this match. Losing 3 in a row is a dangerous and scary point to be at, but Sweden, they are calm, cool, collected, composed against this 4th-seeded Canada this year, who was putting up unbelievable team scores. And they've already made this match back to even. It was very, very small of a margin, but it is so easy to let another team run away when they've already gotten a break point under their belt. And even on such a strong pick or Canada on microwave like that, but Sweden was able to maintain. They made the switches they need, and they had it work out, and now they're taking a little bit of extra time on this next pick, but they do go for the Hard Rock 2. We did mention that they would likely go for more of these Hard Rock picks based on that HR1 performance, and while I think Hard Rock 2 is maybe a little bit more volatile, it is certainly a good range for them to go into. They've got strong Hard Rock players. They looked good on this versus South Korea. And with the way Canada has been avoiding Hard Rock, it might speak volumes about how confident they may be on a more unconventional precision pick.
Yeah, so this Hard Rock 2, like you said, makes a lot of sense. I'm definitely curious to see how kind of Canada stacks up on something that isn't just, you know, the aim focus that we expect Sweden to have the advantage on, especially with so much tech left open as well across the different mod pools. You've got, if Canada can apply a bit of pressure on Sweden, maybe they can put them off picking up, you know, maps like Ramsing and free mod 3, which is Burnt Rice. So Canada with a over expectation on performance here would be massive for cutting Sweden's legs from under them.
I just am so excited to see what happens on a precision Hard Rock map between these two, because it's such a different skill set than that Hard Rock one, that consistency, that big aim. And if Sweden is able to take this, I think it will give them the confidence to potentially pick that Hard Rock 3 later. It does give them more range over this pool. So this is going to be, I think, a little bit of a deciding pick for this match. We haven't seen anything super precision based yet. We haven't seen anything that would denote either one of these teams being stronger on this map overall. We know that Canada has a decent Hard Rock team, and again, especially adding Yip back into the roster this year does give them quite a bit of strength overall on this mod. But the rest of their roster, it's interesting to see how they're going to hold up on this again after we don't have any indication of how well they're going to be able to play a Hard Rock precision pick like this. Now, again, I think what Sweden's looking for right now is a big improvement on Silla and Grippe right now. I mean, Blue and Melwem were 3 misses and 1 miss apiece. And if they can clean up those scores just a little bit, it makes a big difference. But all of the score gain right now is going to come from Silla and Grippe. 10 misses and 20 misses are the two that put up on the bottom for those scores there. If we see any amount of improvement from those two being able to practice through this map, it is going to make all the difference for them, and they might be able to take this pick a little bit more handedly. But I am not liking all of these breaks I'm seeing from both sides this early, especially from Silla and Grippe, who we are expecting to hopefully do better. Grippe misaiming a lot of these notes in here. Luckily, Canada not looking too hot.
No, I mean, no full combos for Canada thus far. They've dropped them all. I mean, Yip having the earliest break means he's got the highest combo right now, but that's only as good as Silla.
It's fine, I think, right? Yes. Canada had like a full reset off that break.
Yeah.
Silla stepping up. Silla stepping up, despite being one of the lower scorers on Sweden in the last match. Him and Melwem really looking nice on this one. Melwem was the second highest scorer in the first playthrough, 466k, and they are going to drop the combo towards the ending here, but I mean, Damarsh, that's not before almost 300,000 score for Sweden. And Silla, this is the score improvement we were talking about. 10 misses was so uncharacteristic for him at 400k, and we are now rocking it through as Canada breaks all around the board. And here goes Silla. Bye-bye.
Well, oh, the under-aim there from Silla right at the end. But, I mean, Microwave was a great warm-up map for this. You know, really nice adjustment, was already prepared on the precision. For Silla, it was just a natural progression. Just take that hidden off and let Silla go, because that is so good from Silla on that hard right. And that is the point I think Sweden needed more than any of the others, because that opens up the board for them.
That is a major point there for Canada to take. Not on the point itself, but on the range that this gives Sweden over precision maps and hard rock favored picks in the pool is unbelievable. That was a basically like 3 overall. Grip is struggling a little bit more on that pick than maybe desired. 234k compared to their 345k from the last playthrough. But regardless, that top end of Sweden just looked so much more comfortable than Canada's top end on a pick like that for a precision map. And for Hard Rock 3, that's going to be very nice for later on. Even some of these free mods, you know, if you have the better Hard Rock player for free mod 3, that's a big plus, because that map is very difficult with those cuts on Hard Rock.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, the mainstay Hard Rock player for Canada in karate not quite living up to the expectation that we'd expect. So that does kind of put pressure, like you said, on Canada on that free mod 3, for example, and free mod 1 in reality, especially after Sweden picking up the Hard Rock one as well. You know, it just feels like Hard Rock side, Sweden have got it nailed down.
Well, we are looking at HD again.
High definition 3.
It's gone. Hidden is gone after this map. So where does Canada go after this is the question. They've looked so strong on the hiddens, and I very much agree with this pick. I think this is a great way for Canada just to continue getting their points on the board here. You know, it'll get them up that next point, and that's really all you have to do when you're halfway through a match like this. You just need to get through that next pick, that 1 point, and then all of the nerves disappear, right? Like, it's always a little bit of a tough scenario when you are matched up evenly against another team, especially when Sweden has cleared 3 picks in a row now to go match this matchup to a tie again here. Canada needs that confidence booster, and I do think a tech-focused hidden pick is certainly the way to go for them.
Absolutely. They need to really try and find some skill sets to focus on after this, because they won't have their favorite mod to rely on. And I don't think, as we mentioned before, free mod is going to be the best option for them. Anything I think they pick into in that regard will be a bit of a 50-50 flip. But they get this one out the way, they get up to 4 points on the board, which I have no doubt they'll feel confident in doing. But then it is the big question of what happens afterwards. What does the tail end pick structure look like?
Yeah, I mean, that double time pool is going to come in very handy for one of these teams, and I do think Canada has quite a strong DT roster overall, but, you know, Canada was actually struggling quite a bit on some of the DT picks, more so than I would have expected, I think, against Indonesia, which was sort of surprising because I definitely pinned them as an amazing DT team. Now, they did have a couple of picks where they did look pretty good overall, but not so much so that I would have given them, like, the handed advantage against Sweden overall. Now, Sweden didn't pick a lot of the DTs besides Amazing Trees. You know, whether or not that's because they wanted to just save them for later, or whether or not they didn't need to pick them against South Korea, leaves to be said. But you know, if Canada doesn't find a bit of an improvement from the scores that I saw on the DT pick they played yesterday, it is going to become an uphill battle for them, because the hidden is now gone. There's maybe one no mod gimmick pick to take out here, and then it gets interesting. So this map on the board for Canada on the hidden 3 will mean a lot for them to keep this match even, as one Dario actually finds the first break for Canada.
Maybe the pressure starting to eat away at Wandario in this matchup. Just relying on his team to pull him through, and with the breaks coming in from Sweden thick and fast, they've got the breathing room. Zucchini going to be finding a trade alongside Yip, so once again we're down to 1v1. It's Aza versus Lightning Fox. We've seen this battle before already today.
The 1/3. It's the burst section. Who is gonna hold through it? Looks like it's not Azer. Okay, this is not the worst scenario for Canada ever, but it's not amazing. It's only a quarter of the way into the map, which is why we can't take things too seriously right now. Canada does have enough backing combo to stave off Lightning Fox right now. The reason this is dangerous is because Lightning Fox doesn't have an ounce of a supporting combo right now. So if he breaks, it's over for Sweden.
There's one player's reliability against a team performance. So much of this map left.
Just a little bit of a tough section here. Cutting. Okay. Good combos, a double break from Canada. Couch and Scylla to hold through with the supporting combos. It's a big... Lightning Fox barely avoids getting slow slidered. And now we're in the tech section with the doubles. Does anyone find a break here? Wandario has recovered their combo. They're being matched, and Lightning Fox finds the break, and now it's bad for Sweden. Wandario.
Oh, go on.
Check. He's unchecked. He's 1,000 combo, unmatched. And a break on the Buzz Slider from Lightning Fox leaves Canada 100,000 score in the lead at the pause. Damarsh, it's Scylla and Couch versus Wandario and Azer, and this could absolutely go back with any breaks from these big combos.
Yeah, and they know it as well. They've seen each other's scores. They know what the state of play is. And
Wandario
wants the pressure too much. Azer, cornerstone of this team.
Lightning Fox needs to stop finding breaks. Lightning Fox needs to find that confidence back in the ending in order for Sweden to get into this pick. Scylla and Couch can try doing a little bit of work here, but Azer is going to match one of them, which means their gain is very slow unless Lightning Fox fixes it. And there goes Couch. It's all on Azer holding for Canada. He's got Zucchini as a backing combo right now. Wandario finding the break. Can Scylla make this work against Azer? This is Azer's skill set through and through. I'm not handing it on him finding a break at the end here.
Got no one with him, though. All members of Canada down, apart from Azer. It's Scylla versus Azer. Couch on a slight recovery, but it's not going to be enough. Time's starting to run out for Sweden. If Azer dominates through this hidden pick, he's going to top the lobby, and he ain't going nowhere.
Look at this performance from Azer. This is what he's been known for his entire tournament career. These hidden tech picks are his bread and butter. This is home to Azer, and he is bringing Canada all the way back there. That is a 722k, despite Lightning Fox's early combo, despite Scylla matching Azer for the entire ending of the map. They are not able to make it work in Canada. Honestly, just barely knocking Sweden out on that hidden pick. They made it look extremely close, but it is really just at that top end performing over. Saika having a little bit more trouble than they likely would have wanted, and Canada gets their pick on the board on the back of Azer.
It's some crazy dangerous stuff, but like you said, it was pretty much, or at least it felt that way, a 4v3 situation with Saika just not being able to match the teammates, but not the decisive victory Canada would have liked. I think Sweden are really getting confident now, especially on these techie maps. They know that they're going to come back up, especially if Azer's playing as well as he is. He will make a return. But is there any other pick from Hard Rock 3 that you see here?
You know, some of these DTs might be a decent round for Sweden in terms of DT. 3 is bursty. It's not stamina heavy, which is why I don't think it's terrible. Now, I do think Free Mod 1 would potentially be really good for Sweden. It is an aim-oriented pick. No Mod 1 is a mechanics-favored No Mod 1 pick, which is why I'm a little concerned for that map. And Free Mod 3 is another pick that Sweden went for against South Korea. And they actually had two really good scores in Scylla and Lightning Fox. My concern is Blue and Saika down at 250k on that map. And they do go for the DT3. I was wondering if they would just get this out of the way. And it looks like they are going to chance the burst-favored DT map against Canada. Who's farming PP in 4WC finals? What is this map worth with DT only? It's like almost 650, I think. This map is worth... Is this the extra difficulty? Insane difficulty. Is... So, with a hidden double time 3 100 play is 770, which means that with 3 100s, this map is a 700 DT only. Now, with reasonable accuracy, let's say 15 100s, this map is worth approximately 660. Still a lot.
It's a little busted. It's a little busted.
A lot. This map is so overweighted. This is insane. Any Black Ops 1 players who wants to hop on zombies?
Let me go get my controller.
Yeah, let's get Xbox, like original Xbox PS2 Black Ops 1 zombies. No Black Ops 3, Black Ops 1, the OG. This is Abracadabra. Gotta get on the OG. Verrückt.
Many of you won't understand the glory days.
Nobody understands the true power of what we went through as kids. 2010, by the way, Black Ops 1 release date. I just want to let everyone here know, 2010 Black Ops 1 was released. That is how old we all are.
Oh no, I just...
Oh no! Friendly fire! 2010, that's right, Shadoos. 2010 is when Black Ops 1 was released. Oh my gosh. I can't. Now the question is, who's going to bring us back to 2010? Will it be Sweden or will it be Canada? I am a big fan of Canada's DT roster. My eyes on Ramindra and Jamara and Birchman right now. Not entirely sure how Zucchini does on a DT burst favored pick like this, as well as Birchman is generally one of the better players for the DT on this. I'm surprised he found an early break, but maybe just getting into the swing of things. But I like Canada's DT roster. I do worry a little bit for Sweden because they do have Grippe and Melwem, who are extremely good at this sort of thing. Scylla tends to trend away from the DT burst speed more often than not, and Saika doesn't trend towards this as well, so I'm sort of questioning, like, more of Sweden's roster than I am of Canada's, which is why I'm a little nervous for this.
Well, both teams off to a good start, but double break from Canada. Only Scylla to trade it up. Oh, sorry to apologize, Melum as well.
That one was early. There goes Scylla again. His confidence on DT speed is not always consistent, which is slightly worrying, and Saika finding a break is not doing them any favors, but there's still a lot of this map to go, and Jamara finding a break is huge because now it's down to Zucchini. I don't know what Jamara just missed on, but something. I don't know, speed player misses on aim, etc., etc. I don't, like...
Name a more iconic duo.
Yeah, these triples are so difficult, too, to not over-aim with the speed at which they come at you, and this next jump section could claim some more combos. What really matters right now is the supporting scores. Grippe and Zucchini really doing nothing. They're basically the same accuracy. They're at the exact same combo, and there's really not much that's going to happen between those two. It's about these supporting scores, and right now, Canada doing better as Grippe finds a break, and Sweden might just be letting up another break point here. We're halfway through the map, Damarsh, and if Zucchini doesn't find a break in this next jump section right here, that's going to be Canada all the way through. It's already 200k.
Oh, you know what they say about Zucchini? It packs quite a punch. I got it in there. I stuck it in there. I think they noticed. I think I got away with it.
Zucchini looking for a nice 600 in match here, potentially. Melwem, I feel so bad. It was such an early break to go off of, and look at the difference. I mean, Zucchini versus Melwem right now. It's a 300 combo difference, but it's 200,000 score. That is half of Canada's lead right now. Unfortunately, Sweden would have lost this pick anyway because Birchman has an unchecked 1,000 combo, but this is really, really potential for close as a double break from Canada comes out, and unfortunately, Melwem could only bring this map back if he was holding a little bit more combo. I don't think it's possible. Oh, wait, but there's actually good backing on Sweden. Wait, I didn't realize Scylla and Grippe had huge combos. Wait, is there enough? Wait, there might be enough map. Wait, this is potential. Wait a second, hold on. Wait.
It's falling.
This is dangerous, though. Wait, Sweden needs to hold all 3 of these combos, though. Psycho, you need to stop breaking. Grippa just missed. This is slowing it down. Jamara finds a break, I think, and it's Remidra to break 2. I think Zucchini and Birchman need to find at least 1 miss. We're running out of time, Damarsh. There's not going to be enough time left in this map. I'm very nervous. Damarsh! Psycho, please stop breaking! Psycho, please hold the combo!
Oh no, Psycho.
Oh no, Psycho can't
enough.
hold the combo into the ending. Oh no, it just wasn't enough.
Oh man, I had a vision of everything falling apart for Canada at the end there, and it nearly happened.
It's just the consistency for the early onset of the map for Canada just lasted a little bit longer than the ending combos for Sweden, and Scylla and Saika both sitting at 11 misses is quite unfortunate on the DT3 there. You know, that is, again, sort of what we pointed out from Canada at the beginning, maybe a better overall trio, whereas Sweden, you know, maybe was going to sit more close to a duo on that map. And, you know, it was a good shot for Sweden to maybe go for the DT3, maybe exploit some weaknesses of Canada, but it's an unfortunate loss of a break point at what is Canada's pick to potentially put them on match point here, and we're going to now once again need to see another comeback from Sweden. Canada's going to pick a map out here, and then I would imagine Sweden maybe goes for free mod 3 after this, see if they can put up that duo again, but very, very close. Very, very possible for Sweden to get back into this one, but they're going to need to put the work in here. Assuming Canada picks correctly, that is. If Sweden takes another breakpoint on Canada because they mispick an aim map here, then this could go anywhere. Now, I think the best option for Canada here is to pick No Mod 2, No Mod 3, or No Mod 4. I think those are going to be their best maps overall. I think picking any combination of No Mod 1, Free Mod 1, Free Mod 3 would be rough, and it is going to be Ramsing.
We love Ramsing.
We do. We love Ramsing. We don't love the lyrics of this song, but we love Ramsing. If anyone has ever heard the lyrics to this song, like, translated, it's rough, I'm pretty sure. I've heard from many people it is not poggers.
I can't remember which year it was. I remember at OWC where they had, I think it was like they had a Japanese map, a Japanese song, and
oh yeah,
the Japanese roster complaining. They were like, the lyrics are really off-putting. Can we change it?
I literally have the screenshot. It was like, I forgot. I think it was. I don't remember who it was, but they were like, "Hello, please do not pink pool this song anymore for Japanese players. We can understand what she is saying, and it is gross." And that was like, that was literally what it was. That was crazy. That was like the funniest map pool feedback message ever sent in the history of the game. Oh, but it is Ramsing time, and well, for those of you that have seen Canada in this tournament before on tech maps and slider aim tech maps, well, you would know that this is probably the best pick in the pool for them overall, I would actually say. This may be Canada's best map, just overall skill sets here. Sweden, they did play Ramsing. The part that's going to concern me about this is even though they put up a 2 million team score, they got 4th playered pretty hard, which is a problem against a team like Canada, who is likely not going to get 4th playered hard. So unless Sweden maybe makes a switch up, or maybe they have practiced through a little bit more, You know, this could be dangerous, and that's assuming Scylla puts up his mid to high 700k again, compared to Canada, who was overall a 1.9 million score, but was more evenly distributed across their entire roster, and switching Azer out for Yip, who is, I would say, equally good as Azer on tech maps, and if Azer is not confident on this, it is likely that Yip is if they're making that swap.
Both teams looking for improvement on their previous runs on this map. Let's see if they've got what it takes. This is still such a battle between these two teams. Lightning Fox and Blue, though, not off to the start we wanted. Karate training out, but there goes Melon as well. So it's just Scylla to start us out with the full combo left.
This is the S-rank no-miss map here, and we're already seeing some slider breaks come out from both sides here. We are going to get a couple Bancho misses every once in a while from the teams because it is so slider-oriented. 1/3 triangle here only catches out 2 players on Sweden, unfortunately. Not quite ready for that as we go into a couple of slider bursts here. Nothing's going to catch anyone off guard majorly, and it is down to Scylla with a supporting combo from Lightning Fox right now. That's a little bit of a dangerous scenario, but it's maybe a good sign for Sweden, as Lightning Fox was pretty uncertain on this map in the first set. One of the lower scorers on Team Sweden, maybe making an improvement into this set. Is going to trade out a break, but not before a double miss from Team Canada to give some concession over to Team Sweden, where Yip has taken over for bottom scoring Azer to become the only FC remaining on Team Canada.
Yeah, and with Blue trailing behind Karate on the supporting combo, it is Canada who is pushing that score margin to their side ever so slightly.
It's close. It's 140k. And it's really down to if Yip or Scylla misses first. There is some supporting combo on both teams here, and Dark Karate is actually doing a lot of work with this 700 combo right now. It's the majority of the gain for Canada. Melon trading a breakout for Zucchini isn't bad, and that's even better for Team Sweden. Blue and Karate trading out a break there is amazing for Team Sweden. Lightning Fox dropping, however, and that is an unchecked combo on one Dario now, which means that unless Yip finds a break, which he does, it's Scylla time, baby. 200,000 score, but let's not hold our breath. This map is unbelievably difficult into the ending. It was a 750,000 score for him in the last start of the map, and it's one Dario with a 650 combo, and he's gonna slow this down a lot, Damarsh.
Yeah,
he could actually prevent it.
Yeah, triple break from Sweden as well. They've got nothing outside of Scylla, but it is all about
no support. None.
Exactly. There's nothing.
And I think that's it. Unless one Dario breaks right now, that's it. It's 200k, and Scylla is done. He's gone.
One Dario break coming in far too late. Nowhere near enough map, even if he had broken at that point, to make up that score margin. It's another S rank for Sweden, and it's another loss for Sweden. Oh, it's tragedy right now.
That is an unfortunate drop in performance from Sweden. You know, Scylla improving his score by 40,000, but that is all three, not all three actually, Lightning Fox going up in score, but that is another 2 players dropping by over 150,000 score each for Team Sweden. That is 300,000 potential score lost for them. And on that map, Sweden lost by a margin of 225,000 with a team score from Canada of, get this, 1.971 million to Sweden's team score yesterday of 1.992, taking into account Scylla's 40,000 score gain. That is the most unfortunate loss of a point there. Canada could very well have lost that pick. If Canada did, if Sweden did what they did yesterday, but unfortunately that repeat performance on that map is so difficult. The sliders are so hard to be consistent on, and now it really just comes down to Sweden. How can they make the rest of this match work? They have to start on their pick right now. They can very well make this match 6-4. They have the skill, and they do have the picks left in the bank to make this work, but the uphill battle part of this is they need to win a Canada break point somewhere in between their two picks.
They do, and they have to avoid not dropping anything to Canada now. The pick strategy is going to be so crucial, because I think we're fairly confident that I certainly am, that Canada is probably going to bank on that Nomad 3 as the last map.
Baby, banger time! This is a jam. If you don't think this song is a jam, you are incorrect.
Well,
Don't speak.
But
I thought you were gonna.
it's not true Nightcore. There's not enough bass.
Okay, you know what? This is true Nightcore by like Unk status. This is like Unk status Nightcore given. It's like those people that get like the honorary PhDs from universities. Like it's that sort of thing. Like this is honorary Nightcore. Mods, please time out anyone in chat who disagrees with this being a jam. Thank you. It's true. If it's called Nightcore and there's an anime girl in the background from a picture that looks like it was drawn in the year 1998, it's Nightcore. Is there not an anime girl in the background of this? Am I, like, not remembering this background correctly? I swear there was. I'm unsure. As well as I'm unsure as who's going to win this map. Sweden on free mod is a danger team. This is also an aim-oriented free mod 1, which is generally Sweden's strong point, but it's not big aim like some of the other picks are, so I do have to wonder how this is going to turn out, where Canada is maybe stronger on this than they would be on a big aim pick. It's really not about Sweden dropping in performance, it's about Canada improving theirs, and where the mods are going to sit on this. Now, I think it would be absolutely hilarious if we see Lightning Fox back on an easy, because we did see that on a free mod last match, but I doubt it. I doubt it on Angel of Darkness. This would be the hardest easy map ever. And it does look like we are getting a normal distribution of mods here as we get a quick abort from here. It's going to be an okay double hidden Scylla Lightning Fox, double hidden Azer Zucchini, and Dark Karate and Blue gonna duke it out on the Hard Rock. I like Blue's odds of winning that matchup. I like Lightning Fox's odds of getting one of these hiddens. The question is, who wins the other hidden, and does Saika match up with one Dario's recent performance on Nomad?
Well,
see.
Yeah, we're gonna have to just see what plays out.
They need this, Damarsh. They cannot lose this map. Sweden must win. There is no exception to this map. This is Sweden's final stand in 4-Digit World Cup this year. Lightning Fox to find an early break. It's really not going to make much of a difference here. The big jump sections are where we are going to be looking out for. And again, awkward. The awkward linearity of this map is what is so difficult about it, especially even for Nomad players. And, well, Saika to find a break before the cuts here is going to be difficult as we get into the next section of the map now. And this is where we're going to start to see the breaks that matter.
Oh, are we? Oh, yes, we are.
Oh,
but
no.
it's not fair for Sweden, as it's Blue that goes down on the Hard Rock.
Oh, he's not having a good time with these cut streams at all. And there goes Scylla. And I think Sweden's run in this tournament may have just ended. Oh my goodness, this is not how I expected this to go. Canada is currently reaming this pick, and Azer does finally find to miss with the hidden, but not before the entirety of Sweden has now disappeared. Dark Karate to break, and again, it's one Dario. It's his world, and we're all just living in it.
My soul has just left his body after I saw that.
Oh, that is just the most tragic way to start the map. I wouldn't say GG until the map is over on this one, but at a 400,000 score... Okay, Dario, literally, what are you doing? There is...
I like how you said that and it just happened.
There is no way you just broke on that last one. That's insane. Okay, well, luckily for Canada, they put up an unbelievable score gap before finding that break, and Sweden would need to absolutely demolish the remainder of this map in order to pull back 300,000 scores. So luckily, Canada put in the work early, and they're going to capitalize on it now, but that may have been the funniest break in the history of 4-Digit World Cup ever.
Well, all of Sweden has now been reset. So, if you weren't saying it before, you can say it now. Sweden's journey in the 4-Digit World Cup is over.
There goes my hero. Watch him as he goes. Sweden, an unbelievable performance as the seed 7 to make it through to this weekend in what is officially a top 6 position to make it to the finals losers bracket here. No, this is a... Yes, this is top 5 to 6. 5th and 6th right here. No. Am I losing my mind? This is 4th. 4th. This is 4th. Thank you. I'm losing my mind. So Sweden for 4th, amazing. That is the #1 performance that Sweden has seen in 4-Digit World Cup to date, and as the 7th seed, that is quite impressive overall for them after absolutely laying out South Korea last evening to make it to this point. Team Canada, however, defending second place finisher, is going to put an end to their run as they look for, once again, an opportunity to come back to grand finals. They've got to make it through Poland next weekend to go back up against the United States in the winners bracket, so best of luck to them. And well done to Sweden. Honestly, hats off to them for putting up easily the strongest roster we've seen in the history of Sweden in 4-Digit World Cup.
Oh, absolutely. It's been truly great to see them work their way through the bracket this year. I know they've picked up a lot of fans and a lot of support, and they were just short of the margin today. But Sweden, the winners in our hearts. But congratulations to Canada.
Well done, Canada. Congratulations. You have once again made it, and best of luck next weekend. We thank Sweden for coming out for the tournament this year, and we congratulate them on their finish. That is the last match of the finals, ladies and gentlemen. That is right. Grand finals already next weekend. It is Poland. It is Canada. It is the United States battling it out for first, second, and third in 4WC 2025. We still have a little bit more for you before Grand Finals. We will have the Grand Finals map full showcase, which will be time TBA. We don't have an exact setup for you all yet, so we're going to cut the stream off here. But thank you, everyone, for watching. You'll get a ping, you'll get an announcement, you'll get a notification before that showcase goes on, and we will see you back for that, followed by the Grand Finals next weekend. Thank you for joining me this afternoon/evening, Damarsh, and we will see everyone for the Grand Finals map full showcase when we see you. Take care.